Hi, in this video I'm just going to run through the counterbalance rig, how I use it, how you set it up, the packaging and the hook links. I'll just start off with the packaging. Now when you buy it, you see it comes just packaged like that, and there's a spare ball in there as well, a spare red ball. That is for when you're using larger baits, when you're fishing with larger baits. There's also instructions with a diagram enclosed in there. The hook links, they come in size 10 and 20, barbed and barbless, and at the moment they're all eagle waves. I will be doing different hooks eventually, but for the moment they're eagle waves. The way I fish the rig, live bait or dead bait, is I'll use a live bait lead or a bell lead. And the reason I use one of these is I'll always use one of these when I'm using this sort of rig, any sort of rig where I want to move the bait up and down in the water and fish all levels of the water. The reason is when you cast out or drop it in a boat, all the lead weight is at the bottom, all the weight there, and it'll always end like that. It'll always land on the bottom like that. I've got myself a ceramic run ring, which is it'll allow the line to run smoother, and they'll last forever and a day, these things. What I've done is I've got a ceramic run ring and put a clip on it and then put a poly ball through it so that I can change my lead weight whenever to different size. So it's just a question of pulling that down, taking it off, and there's my lead weight. I can change it to whichever lead I want. I won't use a gripper lead for using this, fishing this sort of system, because the gripper lead, it lies flat, and your line could get trapped if it's lying flat. That could just easily trap in the in the rubbish and or the weed at the bottom. So I always use one of these. The idea of that ball there is to then lift it up in the water and keep it away from the bottom, so that it's actually, your line's running a lot smoother through there, so it's never going to tangle up, or it shouldn't do in theory. There's a lot less chance of it tangling than if it's laid flat with a gripper lead and it's a long one. So that's the reason I use that. Once you've got that on your line, then you put a free running bead on. That's your buffer bead from obviously from your lead weight to the bottom of the rig. And to start with, if you're using mono, you push the mono from the bottom here around the bend and out, and it'll go in quite easy with mono. If you're using braid, then you're going to need to use a diamond eye threader, and you're also going to need tubing on your braid as well. The actual rig itself, this one is set up with the large poly ball on. I've actually used this rig. This is set up on my rod. The hook links are all shorter than the tube itself, than the rig tube. They're all shorter, and the reason for that is if you start using a live bait and it's longer, it'll swim around and get caught around your main line here that's coming down to your lead weight. So you always have that shorter. It's the same principle with the dumbbell rig. That's exactly the same thing. So that bit there is tangle proof. This bit here is tangle proof. Now, the only thing holding that poly ball into place is this throwaway use once only starlight. If you get snagged, then that'll pull away. The ball will pull off. That should come out and pull away. If it doesn't, then inside the tube in here, once that gets snagged, if it's pulling still, that's £15 power gun. So that's going to snap. Something's going to give there. That's so easy to come out there. Okay. If that stays on and your line snaps, so you get a break further down at the back end, it's all going to slide out, and then eventually it'll come off. Now, the rig itself has got a little tail rubber on the end. And what you need to do is pass your line through and then tie your hook link on. And when you come to connect your hook link or fix it up, just put the eye of the swivel into the tail rubber on the end of the rig tube. That's all you need to do. That means then if it snags up, the hook link's going to come away, and that'll break away. That snaps, that pulls out, and this lot here up to the surface, because it'll float to the surface. So basically the fish isn't going to get snagged up with this lot. Here's the hook links, and it's at the moment I'm using £60 Sunset Amnesia, and the hooks I'm using are Eagle Waves, size 10 and 20, barbed and barbless. We'll be getting some different hooks and probably larger ones and smaller ones in the near future, but these are what's available at the moment. Everything that you see on this video, the hook links, the rigs, and the lead weight, they're all available at Catzilla on www.catzilla.com. They're all available. The only thing that isn't available at the moment, this method that I use with my lead weights, that is something that I use and make personally. So that isn't available, but it's easy enough to make. Spare polyballs are also available at Catzilla, as are the rigs. I hope that's helped, and thanks for watching.